Welcome to this week's edition of Pat and Dad Sports Talk. We have a number of things to talk about. We're going to talk about the Braves and things happening around them in free agency that directly or indirectly impact them. So, Pat, welcome again. We're going to talk about some topics. I think we would like to be talking about some acquisitions that the Braves have made, but I don't think we're going to get to do that much today. But first, I just want to ask you, the Dodgers had another big week. What are your thoughts on what they're doing, what their latest signings are, and what it means for the Braves?
All right, so I'd like to thank you guys for coming in and watching. But on our topic with the Dodgers, Roki Sasaki and Tanner Scott have really been the big ones. We don't really follow, minor league signings. So we know yesterday, Roki Sasaki, I think it was yesterday. No, it was the day before yesterday. Roki Sasaki signed with the Dodgers. And, what does this mean for the rest of the league? And in my head, I have like a projected rotation. And sometimes I wonder to myself, why did he sign with them? He could be a 1-2 kind of starter. Instead, he chose the Dodgers. He's only going to be a 4 or 5 guy, which, to come in, that's probably good to start with. So him, that's really all I got to say on him. His average fastball, 99.2. That's going to be the highest in the league this year. Jacob deGrom will now be second. And then Tanner Scott today, about an hour ago, $72 million over 4 years. And, I'm looking at this. And what was it? The Braves had $30 million before they couldn't do anything.
Right.
So you do the math on that. I can tell you that's not $30 million. And you have the 1-2 punch in Jimenez and Iglesias, but you still want to add that extra arm to set up or even close. You could move Iglesias out of that role, which you may not like, but Tanner Scott is a dominant relief pitcher, and that was not a strength this year. And if you're good with it, I'm gonna lead into another guy who has just left.
Yes, let's go ahead, Pat. You take it away.
$22 million over 2 years for A.J. Minter and the Mets. And you look at this, what has he done with the Braves? I forget what year it was, but I was watching something by another creator. 2.6 ERA 1 year, but the home runs is doubled. Strikeouts were down, so he had a good year, but then at the same time gave up a lot of runs. And you look at the productions that he's had with the Braves, it really hasn't been that top production that we expected to see from him. So, I hope we can actually hit against the Mets for once. Hopefully, if they bring this guy in, Minter, for a setup, we got to hit him before they can bring in Diaz. Because once you bring in Diaz, he's just electric. That's going to be hard to face. But, I don't know how much you have on the Minter topic. But, I think that was kind of good to get off our hands. Normally, Anthopoulos would sign a guy like that back. But I honestly never really agree with those signings unless you can get a guy like Jimenez for, the $11 million. So, really, that's all I got to say other than, we better go hit this guy because everybody else in the league can.
Well, I was never very confident when Minter came in. I know that he had some good years and he was able to do some good things, and we're appreciative of what he did here in Atlanta. But at the same time, I think he is a guy that when he comes in, you can attack and you can make stuff happen. So I do understand him going, and I think at the end of the day, it's not that big of a negative for the Braves. It's just the Braves have done nothing, so they're just going to run it back with what they had last year. It's looking like more and more, which I understand Strider and Acuna are coming back, hopefully, but it might be 2 months into the season, and I wanted to get your thoughts. I'm just surprised with the Atlanta Braves or the city of Atlanta hosting the All-Star game this year. What what impact is it going to be if we're not anywhere near first or second place going into that All-Star game, and we don't, and let's say we don't get Acuna or Strider back when we think, and we haven't really signed anybody, and we have another, kind of mediocre year like last year. It just seems like we're missing an opportunity to take advantage of the All-Star game and building some excitement around that. And to me, I was just hopeful that we would have been able to do more.
Yeah, I got 2 words to say on that topic: ticket revenue. You don't have the star players and you're not in first place. Guys in Colorado, all the way on the west side of the country, aren't going to fly down for an All-Star game because, LA's hosted it before, so they already got to see their players. Why fly all the way down to the southeast? Why they can just stay up in the west where more of those teams are actually going to get it, unless we can bring exciting players to the table. Then people out on the west want to come to see that home run derby, want to come watch that All-Star game. And I think that the Braves are really planning on having a lot of ticket revenue to really support that All-Star game and kind of bring in the good things for it. But you're not going to have that if you're not having a good year. And with Acuna and Strider out for those first few months, ticket revenue is going to be down. Because you want to come watch a game to see Spencer Strider pitch. You want to come watch a game to see Ronald Acuna Jr. get 70 steals and 40 home runs. All that stuff, that's what you want to see. You don't want to see a mediocre lineup that's falling to third place or not in first place. So really, from what Anthopoulos likes to do, that's not going to go well for him because his main thing is like getting money in the ways other teams don't. So, you're going to lose plenty of ticket revenue this year, but you got to bounce back with a good year. You need Riley, Olsen, Albies, heck, even RC to step up because we know for a fact they haven't done anything. They probably aren't. As spring training is almost, a month or 2 away?
At the most. Pitchers and catchers are very close to reporting, 3-4 weeks.
Yes, sir. And you look at who's out on the market, they're really, I find no reason to sign somebody. You may as well just save the money. But then you look at next year, wait, who are you saving the money for? Nobody, because is Vladdy Jr. your guy? No, you have a first baseman. So why are we saving the money? You had to go out and get somebody when you had the time. Lonzo's the only guy on the market right now, other than some small-time pitchers that really aren't going to affect anything. You have to make moves early in the offseason when these guys are on the market. Tanner Scott signing this morning. Like I said, that's not $30 million to go out and spend some money. So, next year, Bo Bichette, I know Bo Bichette isn't going to cost $60 million. Spend some dang money for once. Look, here's what I've seen in Anthopoulos. He traded that 1 year for Rosario, Peterson, Soler. Those guys were all good. He chose the wrong one to sign back. That's what I've seen. Then Peterson is on the market this year, and I know that he's going to be a DH because he can't play defense. But still, Ozuna, you could give him almost a break, I'd like to say. Give him a rest day against the righties because he may not be as good. And so you let that guy walk. And then Soler, you picked him up. You were hoping for that same hope that you got in that 21 year. Well, he didn't really do anything. So you just gave away pieces, but it wasn't anything big. The Giants were just dumping the contract. So you look at that, you say, okay, but then at the same time, you're saying, what the heck are you doing? All right, make a move. Now, no more, because at this point, nobody's on the market that you need to change the game. We can't sign Alonso for $90 million for in the platoon. We don't have that kind of money.
Exactly. Everybody out there watching, if you could like the video, I think we've had some good insights here from Pad today. we're going to have to come back and talk about this more, maybe talk through what we're going to have to do to salvage this thing for the rest of the year. We're limited on time today, but I think you've made some good points. We didn't get out aggressive early in the process. We didn't even get out at all. We didn't even sign role players. So now it's going to be interesting to see what the Braves do this year for sure.
Sure.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. We're going to look forward to seeing you in our next week's edition. And in the meantime, let's all hope the Braves find something this week. I don't know. Maybe Anthopoulos can come up with some of his magic. We're going to need it in order to, make some excitement around this season and have a great all-star hosting and a great season.
Yep. Let's go find a trade, Braves Nation.
Yes. All right. We'll see everybody later.